In this demo, we're going to create a registration category in Dive 365. Registration categories allow organizations to classify members to meet reporting, regulatory compliance, and, most notably, insurance requirements. So for example, competitive athletes might require additional insurance or travel documentation. And registration categories are how this is accomplished. Members can have many associated registration categories. So let's get started. Now I have Dive 365 open in my browser, and I'm signed in as a global administrator in my organization, which is called D365 Club. So what I want to do is create some categories for my coaches and my athletes. And I want to create a category for my Learn to Dive instructors, my Learn to Dive athletes, and my competitive coaches, and my competitive athletes. So let's click on Administration in the left-hand menu. And then we'll click on Registration Categories in the Operations section. Great. So now we're being shown a list of all the registration categories that I have defined in my organization. Now I have just a simple one that I used for testing, but I want to create real ones for my organization. So let's go ahead and create one now. Now to do that, we can click on the Add button in the toolbar at the top of the page. Good. Now this shows us the Create Registration Category pop-out on the right-hand side of the page. Now we can give our category a name. And I'm going to call mine Competitive Athlete. Perfect. Now we can optionally provide a description. But in the future, this is going to appear in the store for users to see. But I'm going to leave mine blank for right now. The next thing that we have to do is select a type. Now this type can be athlete, coach, official, and so on. Now since I want to create a category for my athletes, I'm going to select the athlete type. Great. So now we can select a parent category. Now my club belongs to a governing body who belongs to a governing body of its own. So that's a hierarchy. And by attaching my category to a category in my parent organization, I create the inheritance of forms, agreements, and pricing. So I'm going to attach my category to my parent organization's category of almost the same name. It's called PSO Competitive Athlete. Great. Now notice that we have a More button under the list of parent categories. Now if I click that, I can see all the forms, agreements, and pricing associated with the ascendancy. Now that gives me good information about what I'm creating, what my users are going to see when they register with this category, and what my users will need to pay. Now this brings us to the next step. In the next area, if I scroll down, we're going to see that we can set prices for each different season. Now I can't change prices from past seasons, but I can see the prices that I may have set in the past. But of course this is a new category, so there are no past prices. Now clubs will typically leave their category prices at $0 since categories are often used as insurance and reporting needs of the governing bodies. But some clubs use categories as a means to collect annual membership fees. Now in my case, I'm going to leave the prices at $0. Now if we keep scrolling down, we're going to get to choose a ledger code. Now since this category is for my competitive athletes, I'm going to set the ledger code to my competitive code that I created in a different demo. And now we can choose Forms and Agreements. And we can have as many forms and agreements as you want, including none. Selecting Forms and Agreements means that when a member signs up for something that uses this category, they're going to need to fill out whatever forms and sign whatever agreements that you attach when they check out from the store, though some forms are optional. So let me choose my forms and agreements, and I can choose as many as I want. I happen to only have one form, but I'm going to click it, and then for the agreement, I'm going to select my one agreement as well. Great. So now that we have our registration category defined, we can scroll to the bottom of the pop-out and click Save. And perfect. Now we can see that the page is updated and our new category is defined. So now we can go ahead and create some additional categories for our Learn to Dive athletes, our competitive coaches, and our Learn to Dive coaches. So there you have it. In this demo, we created a registration category in Dive 365.